Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, welcome back to another Monster Hunter Generations video. And in this video, I wanted to put together a quick tutorial to explain the different ways in which you can obtain armor scraps. And in case you guys are wondering what those are, armor scraps are the materials that you will use to craft gear for your Palicoes. And now that you can play as a Palico in the new Prowler mode, this is more important than ever. So if you do enjoy this video and you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated. And be sure to drop a comment down below and let me know if you have any questions. And also let me know how you guys have been getting on with the game so far, if you guys have been playing this weekend. Now, to begin with, if you played the previous entry in the series, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, then you will no doubt remember that if you wanted to gather scraps in order to make a particular Palico armor set, then you had one method and one method only. Meows hunters. And the problem with that was that if you were after a particular set from a particular monster, then you had to rely on said monster showing up in the available quests, which it didn't always do. But in Monster Hunter Generations, that is no longer the case. The Meows hunters are still around, as are Meows Hunter quests, but now there are more methods for obtaining scraps. So, first and foremost, the one you will likely end up using most is the Trade for Scraps option. When speaking to the cat smithy at the Palico Armory, below the 3 forge options, there is the option to trade for scraps. This allows you to trade monster parts that you already own and convert them into scraps for your Palicos. In fact, this is actually a system that was introduced in Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, a game that sadly never came to the West, but I for one am very glad that this made a return. When selecting the trade option, you can either make scraps from items that are in your bag, in your box at your home, or alternatively from a list. So if your armor requires, for example, a Tetsukabra scrap, then you can find that in the list, select it, and it will then give you a list of available items that you currently have in your box, and you can then choose to trade any of those in exchange for scraps. So if you do have a surplus of scales, for example, then it's an easy way to get what you need. Plus, do bear in mind that you never really need that many scraps for Palico gear anyway, so it's unlikely that you'll ever completely burn through your materials, and given that you can select the ones you want, you don't have to worry about giving up anything ultra rare like rubies or plates. The second option is the one that you will likely never even realise that you were doing. See, when you craft items for your hunter, be that weapons or armour, scraps are also created in the process. Think of it like making the use of leftovers or the offcuts of materials. Basically, if you were, for example, crafting some Lagiacrus hunter gear or a Solegios weapon, then in the process you will also get the odd scrap too. So, if you ever craft an entire armour set, then you might even find that by the time you've done that, you have most of the scraps you need to create the equivalent armor set for your Palico, which is mighty handy. And finally, you of course have the Meows Hunter option too. For this, you head off to the right side of the village and speak to this chap here. You then begin by selecting your locale, and at the bottom of the screen you can see the sorts of things that you'll encounter in said area, of course divided into low and high rank. And you then pick your team, and once that's done, you're then taken to this little mini game where you fire your cats out of a cannon into these circles, and you can see on the screen that each zone corresponds to a particular type of item. Once they're all placed, they then head off on their quest, and you then need to go and complete your own quest, and upon returning, they will then be done. Note that gathering quests, just like handing in a Hall Pass ticket, doesn't seem to work, so you're going to have to do a regular quest instead. Then, when you claim your rewards among the items, you will also get scraps. Admittedly, this method is for a little bit more than just scraps, but it is also another source. Plus, if you are super lucky, you might even occasionally get a few scraps in your general quest rewards too. So in summary, there are now many methods for obtaining these items, which in turn makes crafting Palico gear much easier. And that's it. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.